I want to talk about anger. What a powerful, extreme emotion. And alcoholics really seem to have a lot of anger. And I can relate. I know the feeling. Um, but I want to give you some tips on how to mitigate it and how to cope with it a little better, because that emotion and that feeling can overtake you very easily. And a lot of times people just don't know what else to do. They don't know how to deal with it. And it's like this cycle, especially with people who drink. Like, someone at work pisses you off, you want to go drink. Somebody in your life triggers you, reach for the bottle, right? Well, there's things you can do. And another thing, before I give you some tips on what to do, a little piece of interesting information is that in Chinese medicine, every organ has a emotion attached to it, and anger is in the liver, and alcohol affects the liver. So you have that connection there. It's on a mental, physical, psycho-emotional level. Everything is all connected. And so when you're angry, do you admit it? How many times have you or someone you known been like to somebody else, you're like, man, you're really angry. They're like, no, I'm not. I'm not angry. I'm not mad. Well, you seem kind of mad. The first step to dealing with your anger is admitting it. You know, like in the just like in the AA programs, the first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. So if you can't even realize that you're angry, then that's denial. You're just in denial. And you have to know that it's okay to be angry, so long as you don't let it consume you and continue to perpetuate and stew and stir inside you and just continue to get worse and worse. You have to learn how to mitigate it and calm yourself down in the heat of the moment. And that can be really hard to do. I understand. You also need to be able to discern between righteous anger and irrational anger. You need to understand that there's different levels and different types of anger. And that has to come from within. Like, everyone's going to have their own opinions on what's legitimate and what's not. But there's some pretty basic examples and ideas of that. Like, someone cuts you off in traffic or is driving like a total idiot, and giving you the finger, and you just lose it. That's pretty irrational. Whereas something like child abuse, that's righteous anger. And how quickly can you get past it? We have to learn how to face our emotions and our feelings. So the first thing you got to do is admit you're angry. You got to be able to say, okay, yeah, I'm pissed. And it's okay. And then the next thing you got to do is be with it, be present with it, acknowledge it, be okay with being angry. Look at it. Don't run from it and try to hide from it. Don't try to snuff it out with pot or alcohol or whatever that's just toxic to you. A healthy option, though, could be grabbing some boxing gloves, get a punching bag if you are habitually angry. It's going to be a lot healthier for you to go buy a bag and some gloves and go punch the bag instead of taking it out on your family or your friends or your coworkers. That also gets the endorphins going in your body, and that creates the happier feelings. So you're getting a workout, you're creating happy hormones, and it really helps to get that anger out of your body. But if that's not possible, another way to calm down and really disperse that like extreme anger is with your breathing, conscious breathing. Just a couple deep breaths, and really emphasize on the exhale. You want the exhale to be longer than the inhale, and really feel into your belly. Feel the inhale and bring it all the way down into your stomach, and then have a nice, long, slow, drawn out exhale. And what that's doing on a physiological level is it's shifting you from the fight or flight sympathetic nervous system into the parasympathetic, the autonomic nervous system, which is the rest and digest and heal. And when you're all stressed and angry and amped up, you're in a state of stress. You're ready to fight. You're ready to flee. Your brain shuts off in that state. You aren't capable of conscious and cognitive thought processes. And so the best way to come back to reality is slow, deep breaths. And even simpler than that, just to start, is just bringing your awareness to your breath. Just think about it. Just notice it. It's really that easy. That's just the bare minimum. That's something you can do anytime, anywhere. And even when you're not angry, it's really good to do breath work. It's very healing. It's very therapeutic. So I guess the order of steps would be acknowledgement, breathing, and then also, do you need to take any action? So in the case of righteous anger, is there something you can do about it? If not, then why let it continue to bug you and make you angry when it's really just going to make you unwell? If it is irrational anger, well, is there something you can do about it? Can you control somebody else? No, you can't. But you can control yourself. You can control your mind and your emotions and your breath. And so you have to evaluate each situation that triggers you as it arises and really think about, what is it that I can do? Sometimes you just have to let it go. And ultimately, you're in control of you. And I understand that sometimes you're in the heat of the moment, you get triggered, everything just spirals out of control, and you forget all of this. Well, that means you have an opportunity to reflect on it, and you can think back, oh, was that really worth getting pissed off over? What could I have done better? How can I do this differently next time? and you begin to form a new habit and a new pattern. It takes time. When something is ingrained in you deeply, when something, see, we operate in habits, and so little things can trigger an old pattern, and it sets you into just automatic, like, trigger, anger, whatever else comes next. Everyone's different. And so it takes a few times to really, like, stop in the moment. And so reflection could be that first step for you. If you're easily triggered or just angry all the time, reflection is, maybe that's all you can do. Just reflecting on the situation. What was it that even made you mad? Sometimes people don't even realize what's pissing them off. So you got to figure out what's pissing you off. You got to figure out what's the trigger, and you have to admit and acknowledge that you're angry, and then you can move forward to breath work and taking action. And maybe that action step could be something like breathing in the heat of the moment the next time. If there's like a repeat trigger for you, like let's say your kids just keep misbehaving and you get pissed off and triggered every single time, what kind of action can you take? You're going to think a lot better on how to deal with each individual situation if you can tap into that breath and just think about your breathing. Do some deep breathing. And so I will leave you with that. I hope everybody can start to bring more conscious awareness to their anger. And I hope you have a happy and joyful day.